Ronaldo. 41 years old. 5 World Cups played. 0 World Cup trophies. The greatest goal scorer in the history of the sport has never lifted the one trophy that defines legends. In 2026, on home soil in Saudi Arabia, he gets one last chance. This is his final match. Win, and he completes the story. Lose, and the greatest career in football history has one empty space that can never be filled. This is the weight Cristiano Ronaldo carries into the 2026 World Cup. 5 tournaments. 2006, a teenager in Portugal's golden generation, reaching the semi-final. 2010, the disappointment in South Africa, knocked out by Spain in the round of 16. 2014, the group stage exit that nobody saw coming. 2018, the hat trick against Spain. Then elimination by Uruguay. 2022, the Morocco shock, the tears, the walk down the tunnel. 5 attempts. 0 titles. Each tournament ended in a different kind of heartbreak. And now, at 41, he returns for one final shot. Every Ronaldo World Cup story ends the same way, so close, yet so far. In 2006, Portugal was one semi-final away. They lost to France. In 2010, Spain's golden generation ended their run. In 2014, they didn't even make it out of the group. In 2018, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick against Spain, one of the greatest World Cup performances ever, and still Portugal went out in the round of 16. In 2022, Morocco rank outsiders sent them home in the quarterfinals. Ronaldo walked off the pitch in tears. That image became the symbol of a champion denied. 2006, Cristiano Ronaldo was 21 years old, a skinny winger with a bag of tricks. Portugal had the golden generation Figo, Deco, Carvalho. They reached the semi-final against France. Ronaldo was the young spark. But Zidane's penalty sent France to the final. Portugal finished 4th. At 21, Ronaldo probably thought, I'll have more chances. I'll be back. He didn't know then that this would be the closest he would ever get. 18 years later, he's still chasing that semi-final feeling. 2010 in South Africa. Portugal cruised through the group stage 7-0 against North Korea, Ronaldo scoring his first World Cup goal. But the round of 16 brought Spain the team that would go on to win the tournament. A single David Villa goal ended Portugal's campaign. Portugal didn't play badly. They just ran into the eventual champions. For Ronaldo, it was another lesson in how fine the margins are at a World Cup. Play well. Lose anyway. Go home. 2014 was supposed to be different. Portugal entered as European champions. Ronaldo was at his absolute peak Ballon d'Or winner, 30 years old, the best player on the planet. But the World Cup doesn't care about your resume. Portugal got the group of death: Germany, USA, Ghana. They lost 4-0 to Germany, drew 2-2 with USA, beat Ghana 2-1. But goal difference sent them home. Ronaldo scored the winner against Ghana, but it wasn't enough. Out in the group stage, the reigning European champions, gone before the knockout rounds. 2018, the most dramatic Ronaldo World Cup moment. Portugal versus Spain in the group stage. Ronaldo scores a hat-trick, a penalty, a long-range strike, and a last-minute free kick that curled into the top corner. One of the greatest individual performances in World Cup history. The match ended 3-3. But the tournament ended in the round of 16 against Uruguay. 2 goals from Cavani. Ronaldo scored 0. The hat-trick hero went home in the first knockout round. It was the story of his World Cup career brilliance followed by heartbreak. 2022 in Qatar. Perhaps the most painful of all. Portugal reached the quarterfinals. Morocco, the first African team ever to reach the semifinals, stood in their way. Portugal had beaten Switzerland 6-1 in the round of 16. Ronaldo had been dropped to the bench. The team played better without him. That was the narrative. Against Morocco, Ronaldo came on as a substitute. But Morocco scored early 1-0. Portugal couldn't break through. The final whistle blew. Ronaldo walked off the pitch in tears. He went down the tunnel crying. The world watched the greatest player of his generation break down. It wasn't just a loss. It felt like the end. Ronaldo at 41 is not the Ronaldo of 2014. The numbers tell the story. His sprint speed has dropped from 34 km/h to 30 km/h. His explosive acceleration, the weapon that made him unstoppable, has diminished by 15%. He takes fewer touches per game. He covers less distance. But here's what he still has: his positioning, his timing, his finishing, and his mind. At 41, Ronaldo has transformed from an explosive athlete into a predatory finisher. He doesn't beat 5 players anymore. He doesn't need to. He just needs one chance. And he's still the best in the world at taking that one chance. Portugal in 2026 is arguably their best squad ever. Bruno Fernandes, the creative engine. Bernardo Silva, the technician. Rafael Leao, the explosive winger. João Felix, the wild card. Ruben Dias, the defensive rock. Diogo Costa, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. This is not the Portugal of 2006 or 2014. This is a complete squad. And every single one of them knows what this tournament means for Ronaldo. They're not just playing for Portugal. They're playing to complete the legacy of the greatest player in their country's history. Portugal's system in 2026 revolves around feeding Ronaldo. The formation is a 4-3-3 that becomes a 4-2-4 in attack. Bruno Fernandes operates from the right half space, threading passes through the lines. Bernardo Silva drifts centrally from the left, creating overloads. The fullbacks push high, pinning opponents wide. And Ronaldo? He stays central. He makes one run the right run at the right time. The system is designed to give him 3 to 4 chances per game. At 41, he doesn't need more. He just needs the ball in the box. Let's talk about the players who will decide if Ronaldo gets his World Cup. Bruno Fernandes, the man who sees passes no one else sees. He's the key. If Bruno is on form, Ronaldo gets service. Bernardo Silva, the pressure reliever. He keeps the ball when the team needs to breathe. Rafael Leao, the chaos creator. Defenders are so scared of his pace that they leave space for everyone else. João Felix, the unpredictable genius. You never know what he'll do. And neither do the defenders. These 4 players are the difference between Ronaldo scoring and Ronaldo starving. For Portugal to win the 2026 World Cup, everything has to align. First, Ronaldo must stay fit. At 41, his body is fragile. One muscle injury and the dream is over. Second, Bruno Fernandes must perform. He is the engine. If Bruno plays well, Portugal plays well. Third, the defense must hold. Ruben Dias and Antonio Silva must be impenetrable. Fourth, the team must survive the 7-match grind. Remember, 7 matches in 25 days. Portugal needs its depth. Fifth, a bit of luck. A favorable bracket path, no red cards, no VAR disasters. 5 things. All 5 must happen. Let's look at the actual 2026 World Cup bracket. Portugal is seated in Group A as the host nation, playing in Saudi Arabia. The group stage opponents are favorable Saudi Arabia, Ecuador, and New Zealand. Portugal should win the group. Then the round of 32 brings a second-place team from Group B, likely Poland or Tunisia. The round of 16 brings a tougher test, probably Netherlands or Switzerland. The quarterfinal is where it gets real, potentially France or Argentina. The semi-final could be Brazil or Germany. And the final, Spain or England. This path is brutal, but it's navigable. The big question: what role does Ronaldo play? Does he start every match at 41, or does he become the ultimate super sub? The truth is probably both. In the group stage, Ronaldo starts, he builds rhythm, he scores against weaker opponents. In the knockout rounds, his role may change. If Portugal needs a goal in the last 30 minutes, bringing Ronaldo off the bench against tired defenders is the ultimate weapon. But whatever his role on the pitch, his role off it is clear: he is the leader, the captain, the symbol. Every player in that dressing room looks at him and thinks, if he can do it at 41, I can do it today. This is not just a football story. It's one of the greatest emotional narratives in sports history. A boy from Madeira, the son of a kit man, who became the greatest goal scorer of all time. 5 World Cups, 0 wins. At 41, on the final page of his career, he has one last chance to write the ending. If Portugal wins, Ronaldo completes the single greatest career in football history. Every trophy a player can win won. Champions League, Ballon d'Or, European Championship, and now, the World Cup, the full set. The perfect story. But if he loses, it's a story of the greatest player who ever lived, with one trophy missing. Here's the truth: even if Ronaldo never wins the World Cup, his legacy is already secure. He has scored more goals than anyone in the history of football. He has won the Champions League 5 times, the European Championship, the Ballon d'Or 5 times. He has done things on a football pitch that nobody else has ever done. The World Cup is the missing piece. But it doesn't define him. What defines him is the journey a boy from Madeira who climbed to the very top of the sport through pure determination. If he loses, he's still the greatest. But if he wins, he becomes immortal. In 2026, a 41-year-old man will walk onto a pitch in Saudi Arabia for what is almost certainly his final World Cup match. He has scored over 900 goals. He has won everything the sport has to offer, except the one trophy that matters most. 5 times he has tried. 5 times he has failed. This is his 6th and final chance. Win or lose, Cristiano Ronaldo's story is already one of the greatest in human history. But on one night in July 2026, he has the chance to make it perfect. This is Ronaldo's last dance. And the world will be watching. Subscribe to WC26 Matrix for the full breakdown.